Every day, at the same diner. Same booth. Same time. Same order. For 12 years, he ate alone. No one ever sat across from him. No one ever asked why. Until one day, someone did. This is the story of a man forgotten by the world. And the stranger who reminded him, he still mattered. In the quiet town of Millbrook, there's a corner diner where time seems to stand still. The kind of place with chipped coffee mugs, aging vinyl booths, and a jukebox that still plays Elvis. Every morning at 7:45, like clockwork, an elderly man named Walter would walk in. Worn-out shoes. Wool coat. Neatly combed hair. He always sat at booth number 3, placed his hat gently on the windowsill, and ordered the same thing. Coffee. Black. 2 eggs. Toast, no butter. He didn't smile. He didn't talk. He simply sat a ghost among the living. Staff stopped trying to make small talk. Regulars whispered rumors he lost his wife. Maybe he was in the war. But no one knew for sure. He ate alone. Paid in cash. And left. For 12 years, he did this. Rain or shine. Until one cold Tuesday morning, someone changed everything. That morning, a teenage girl named Sophie entered the diner. New in town. Visiting her grandmother. She'd never seen Walter before. But something about him caught her eye. Maybe it was the way he carefully folded his napkin. Maybe it was how the world seemed to pass him by, unnoticed. Sophie ordered her breakfast and watched from across the room. When Walter reached for his wallet, his hand trembled slightly. The waitress, Cheryl, helped him count coins like she always did. But that day, Sophie stood up. She walked over and said, "Hi. Would you mind if I sat with you?" The entire diner went silent. Walter looked up, confused. No one had spoken to him like that in years. "Why?" he asked. "Because you look like you have a story," she said. He stared at her. And for the first time in a long time, he smiled. That breakfast turned into a conversation. A conversation into a friendship. Over the weeks, Walter began to speak. About his late wife, Marjorie. How they'd met in that very diner. How she passed 12 years ago. And how he kept coming back, hoping he'd feel close to her again. One day, Walter didn't show up. Not at 7:45. Not at all. Sophie waited. And waited. The next day, she came again. No sign of him. On the third day, she asked Cheryl if she knew anything. Tears welled in Cheryl's eyes. Walter had passed away in his sleep, peacefully. At his small funeral, only a few people stood by the casket. But to Sophie's surprise, Cheryl, the cook, and even some regulars from the diner came too. Walter left behind a single note, addressed to the girl who sat down. It read, "For 12 years, I waited for a reason to speak again. You gave me that. I thought I had nothing left to say. But with you, I remembered everything that mattered. Thank you, for not walking past me." Sophie visits booth number 3 every year on the anniversary of that day. She orders 2 eggs, toast, no butter, and black coffee. She tells the staff, "Make it for Walter." They kept the booth the same. A little plaque now reads, "This seat is for the lonely hearts who still have something to say." In a world that moves fast, where people eat alone with their headphones in, this story reminds us that sometimes, one seat, one moment of kindness, can echo across a lifetime. We pass people like Walter every day. We sit near them on trains. Behind them in line. We assume their silence means solitude. But maybe they're just waiting for someone to sit down and ask, "Can I join you?" Microphone # This is the Untold Stories. Where silence is never the end. And every stranger has a name, a past, and a story that deserves to be heard. Bell subscribe for more real-life narratives that restore faith in humanity.